Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about how my 30-day challenge is actually starting to change my life. I hear the word habit a lot, and people either feel inspired by it or completely overwhelmed. And I used to think that creating habits was actually very hard. But here's what I've realized. Not having habits is actually hard as well. That's the part that people don't really talk about. So I've kind of had this inkling to start the 75-day hard challenge like back in December. But I knew I couldn't commit to it then because I was moving. So I was packing and, doing all of those things to my old place and get into my new place. So adding, the 75 hard things on top of that was just not in the story. So I said, okay, January, I want to start this 75 hard challenge. And actually, I was going to do the 75 soft challenge because I needed to make it a little bit more doable for me. So it's like 3 days into this 75 soft challenge, and we ended up getting like a foot of snow. It was extremely cold, and I couldn't do one of my daily tasks. And what I committed to was walking 1 mile a day. Now, I've been walking outside even in the cold through like November and things like that. I just bundle up and I just go. Wasn't expecting all of this snow, especially in one night. So I was like, nope, I'm definitely not walking, my mile outside today in this foot of snow. And to be honest, I moved at the end of December. So when I tried to do this in January, I really still wasn't 100% like unpacked and my house was completely, put together. Pad wasn't out. I still had that, kind of packed away, and things just weren't set up for my success with this challenge. So I ended up closing it out and something in February because that I wanted to start it again, right? In the January, I took time to get the house situated, get everything set up so then I could, do this with more success. Because something that I really want to say out loud is that habits can either make or break you. And the habits that you have today are either supporting the life that you want or quietly keeping you stuck where you are. Habits actually shape your confidence, they shape your mindset, and they shape how you show up in your relationships, in your career, and even in your healing journey. And none of that happens by accident. One of the biggest realizations that I've had during this challenge is that if you want to become a new version of yourself, that's going to require new habits, new thoughts, and new ways of doing things. And you cannot create a new life while repeating old patterns. And this isn't about shaming yourself. It's all about being honest with yourself of where you're currently at. So this challenge has helped me slow down and ask, who am I becoming through the things that I do every day? And you may say, well, you've already transformed. Yes, I've transformed, but I'm actually in the midst of transforming again because I want to become even a better version, right? Doing something different and becoming a better version to hold the things that I want to manifest into my life. That's going to require new habits, newer ways of doing things. And the habits don't just magically happen. No, they all start with a simple decision. First, you have to decide that something needs to change. Then you decide to start doing some things different. And what actually helps anchors everything in is being consistent with doing that new behavior, right? After doing that new behavior, it turns into one of your habits. And then you start doing it like with your eyes closed, like when you're doing dishes, it's just a habit. You do it and it's just what it is. So it's not about intensity. It's not about being perfect, but it is about consistency. And that's what this challenge has been helping me practice. Showing up even when it's not exciting, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when I truly don't feel like it. And I'll be honest, this month, some nights I was out at 9:30 at night walking, taking my walk. Some days I was walking in my walking pad, and some days I was sitting on my couch at 10 o'clock at night doing my daily meditation. So it doesn't matter what time you're getting it done. It just matters that you're getting it done. Because if you start making excuses of why you can't do it, then guess what? That is going to turn into a habit as well. Every habit asks you to make a decision. Are you choosing short-term comforts or long-term fulfillments? Short-term happiness might feel good in the moments, but long-term fulfillment is what actually is going to help change your life. Habits are the bridge between where you are now and where the future version of you is going. And the choice that you make today is either going to help your future self or it's going to hurt her. And one thing this challenge has really opened my eyes to is how deeply habits impact our future selves. Supportive habits make your future life easier and more aligned. The absence of habits creates more stress, more chaos, and more self-doubt down the road. Your future self is either going to thank you or wish you had chosen differently. So this challenge has also inspired me to start habit tracking daily, not from a place of punishment, but from a place of curiosity and self-leadership. I've been asking myself, where can I be more consistent? What habits are actually supporting my goals? What habits might be holding me back? And how can I better support the life that I say I want? And that level of awareness alone has been so powerful. So this challenge hasn't been about being perfect. It's been about being intentional. I'm building habits that support my healing, my confidence, my growth, and my happiness. And I can generally feel myself stepping into a more grounded, self-trusting version of me. And that's something I don't take lightly. So I'm grateful that I actually started this 30-day challenge because it has reminded me that habits aren't about restriction. They're more about freedom. Freedom to grow, freedom to expand, and freedom to become the person you've always were meant to be. And if you're watching this, just know that the life that you want is not created in these big moments that you may see flashing on TV or whatnot or in magazines, but it's actually created in small, consistent decisions that you make every single day. So if this resonated with you, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.